Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the 1/18 scale Cadillac Northstar Le Mans prototype from Hot Wheels. A really cool looking model. For those who don't know, Hot Wheels not only make these smaller Matchbox cars, but also the bigger scale 1/18 Diecast models, or at least they did. Nowadays they focus exclusively on doing Ferrari models only in the bigger scales, but back in the early to mid 2000s they did a whole range of things, whether it be De Tomaso Panteras, whether it be Mustangs, Corvettes, or even good old Le Mans prototype cars. A really cool looking car. Love the black color scheme. It is something different. Cadillac, not known for being a contender when it comes to international sports car racing, but they certainly had a crack in the early 2000s, 1999 to 2003, I believe, is when they really campaigned these cars. The Northstar prototype, it is pretty cool. I'll be honest, I'm not a massive Cadillac fan, but I do love this car. It looks outstanding in the black. They also raced it in a silvery grey colour scheme, which they did release a model of that as well. Why does this have no race numbers? It is, of course, the prototype press type car that they used. Pretty cool. I do love the Cadillac logo. It looks nice. The only thing I don't really like about the car is this giant front splitter. Other than that, it is pretty cool. I'll bring it around so you guys can take a look at the side. It does look nice. It has a nice profile to it, much like a lot of the Le Mans prototype cars of the era. Kind of an interesting period for sports car racing. They were transitioning from the GT1 coupe style cars and focusing more on the prototype class. Before that, in the 90s, the prototypes really weren't all that competitive, excluding the Porsche TWR Prototype 95, which won Le Mans twice. But other than that, really, the main contenders were GT1 cars. And then you had, in the early 2000s, the rise of Audi, which really hindered, I guess, any chance of success Cadillac might have had. But it is overall a pretty cool model. Now, being a Hot Wheels model, it does definitely feel a lot cheaper than some of the other ones that you can get out there. Keep in mind, though, I did only pay $8 for this at a swap meet, so I'm not too fussed. It is pretty cool. One thing I love that you don't get on a lot of modern models that are made of resin now is the back does come off, although it's going to give me a little bit of grief. There we go. To reveal a pretty decent engine bay. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, it is kind of cheap and everything like that, but at least you do get Cadillac on the rocker covers, and you do get some nice detail there. Very similar, I guess, to the Maisto models. They did a lot of the Mercedes and other GT1 cars of the 90s. Very similar feel to that. I mean, it is a cool looking car. For what it is, it's reasonably good. I'm going to bring in some of the other Le Mans prototypes that it raced against just for comparison. So here you have, I guess, the Cadillac, which for what it was not a bad car. Really more of an LMP2 type of car in terms of competitiveness, up against the Audi. Huge difference. The Audi much longer, much sleeker. I think is much better looking as well. The Cadillac has a nice grinning face there. But yeah, just for comparison, the Audi is by Maisto. I think it is a little bit better quality as well. The back also comes off on that to reveal the engine bay. I will probably review this separately along with some of my other Audi models. But again, just for comparison, you can see on the Audi, you get a lot more detail than you do with the Hot Wheels model. And I guess just so we're comparing apples with apples, we've got the Cadillac Northstar up against a Hot Wheels 333 SP. Hands down, no question, the Ferrari is a much nicer looking car. They raced these and were a lot more successful as well. I think they won their class at Le Mans in '99. I'm pretty sure they won the 24 Hours of Daytona. Won a few big international events, which is good because it is a ridiculously good looking car. Certainly something very cool. The back on this also comes off, and as well, another similarity, I picked this up at a swap meet also. The back looks more like an F1 motor than a Le Mans sports car. Pretty blank and bland. I think the Cadillac definitely has an advantage in that respect. But two really cool models. If you can find them, I think they're well worth picking up. You can get these pretty cheap secondhand, even new, you can find them for a reasonable price. If you're a big fan of the Le Mans prototype era of the early 2000s, then definitely I think the Cadillac is worth picking up, or in fact the Triple 3 SP or the Audi. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review and comparison of the 1/18 scale Hot Wheels Cadillac Northstar LMP.